Well, I did go see Naked Gun last night.
How was it?
It was all right. It was okay.
Right.
It was. I am not going to shit on it. It is a movie that nobody asked for, didn't even need to be made. But if they were going to do it, they did it right. You know, Liam Neeson is the right choice.
Was he actually? Did he pull off the comedy?
He did. Oh yeah. Oh no. It worked because it's Liam Neeson.
Right.
And he's been doing little pieces of comedy. He did that stint in Ted.
I'd like to ask a few questions about this breakfast cereal.
Yeah. Box of tricks.
I've been led to understand that tricks are exclusively for children. Is that correct?
And then he did the thing with Life's Too Short on HBO with Ricky Gervais.
Okay, let's do some improvisational comedy. Or not.
Come in.
Hey.
Hi, how's it going? What seems to be the problem?
I've contracted AIDS.
That's what the whole genre that Zuckers and Abrams did was serious actors
In
ridiculous
roles,
scenarios.
Yeah, exactly.
Airplane, Police Squad,
Yep.
Naked Gun,
Yeah, but Leslie Nielsen was so legendary in that role,
No, legendary, you're right. I mean, he made that genre.
Why don't you want to have a child?
Didn't I try to adopt that 18-year-old Korean girl?
Is this some kind of bust?
Well, it's very impressive, yes, but we need to ask you a few questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if anybody was going to do it now in a reboot, Liam Neeson is the guy.
Yeah, because you have to have that certain dry delivery, and that's what made...
There's a few things they went over the top with that were really like, all right, we get it. We don't need too many of these punchlines. But there was the background is where they nailed it. Just like in the original Police Squad, in the original Naked Gun, watching the background for the comedy. There's one scene where they're walking through the police station and they're constantly getting coffee cups. Like everyone's always handing them a coffee, constantly. Like this whole trope of cops drinking coffee. It's like there's just coffee everywhere. But as they're walking through, just in the background is two young kids crying in handcuffs, followed by a cop holding their lemonade stand. So they just...
They didn't get the permits.
Just in the background, just walking through, and it's like, okay, genius. There's a lot of things that they do that you've got to pay attention in the background, because that's where the jokes are.
How was Pam Anderson?
She was great.
Was she playing like a comedic role or straight?
Oh, yeah. No, she was great. Both. Yeah. I wish they had done it 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. I think Liam Neeson would have looked a little healthier. You're talking about someone that aged quickly is Liam Neeson.
Mm-hmm. Did it give you the warm and fuzzies of the old school?
Nah. You knew where you were.
Oh no.
Yeah. It wasn't like that. I think the original's better. I say that about anything just because, I'm a Gen X guy. I don't think it needed to be made, but if they were going to do it, they did it right. They did it right.
Because you're never going to be able to capture that nostalgia. You can never see something for the first time again.
For the most part, it stays true to what the original guys were doing with Airplane and with Police Squad. It's Seth MacFarlane doing it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he's producing it.
Okay.
So there are some Family Guy similarities in there. There's a fight scene of just Liam Neeson and the villain. Liam Neeson just punches him in the gut, and the guy just bellies over, and he's out of breath. He's like, he's just walking around going, Jesus! All right, hold on. He's like,
You hit me in my belly.
That's very Family Guy.
Very Family Guy. Yeah. Very just like the way it actually would happen.
For sure.
You know, things like that.
Fantastic.
It's good. Definitely recommend it. They did it right.
That's kind of how I feel about the new Happy Gilmore as well. It's like it was a nice throwback. It wasn't super different or heavy. It just kind of like it was like a love letter to the first movie. It kind of felt like, and it felt like a '90s movie. And Adam Sandler or whoever his writers were, they schooled it. All the callbacks to the old characters. They paid tribute to the people that weren't around anymore. And I think it was made for guys like us who just want to, revisit '90s era comedy. There was a couple of things in there you're like, ooh, can't believe they kind of went there. The little edgelord stuff that Adam Sandler's always known for. But yeah, overall, I'd say it was a fun watch.
Because we've kind of lost comedy in the movie world over the last 5-10 years. I mean, can you think of what the last really good comedy movie that came out that you can, you know,
The Hangover series, Superbad.
right? That's probably
Superbad was, as far as coming of age movies
coming of age. That was
that
the
are
last
very, very irreverent. Coming of age. Superbad's the last.
Yeah.
I think coming
in
of age.
30 years, Superbad's going to be grouped with, you know, all the other the American
Porky's,
Pies, the
yeah,
Porky's. They're all going to be in that same category. But we haven't had much. I mean, you had Will Ferrell in his heyday with like the Anchormans and the other guys and that stuff. And then after that, it just kind of. I can't tell you the last comedy that I went and I really thought was like.
So maybe it's a good
this
point.
Is going
It's
to be
coming
classic.
back. Whether it's Happy Gilmore, The Naked Gun.
I think we definitely did lose comedy for a little while there because studios were scared to offend anybody.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, for the last 5 years, people have been so on edge about who's going to piss off who's going to offend who, and
But now that it's back, did they get it wrong? Thinking that way,
I think,
or were they right to do that so that it would come back stronger?
I think, you know, up until about 2019, the pendulum was maybe a little too edgy, but they swung the pendulum all the way to the other side where you couldn't even make a joke.
Yeah.
So now I think it's coming back down to maybe, you know, kind of.
It's okay to be edgy a little bit.
Just a little bit.
They drop a couple of things in The Naked Gun. They bring back retard. That's back in full swing. The beaver is in this.
Oh, nice.
The stuffed beaver is in there. So you were talking earlier about do they do any throwbacks? Again, you got to look for it, but it's there.
Gotcha.
And for guys like us who remember those films and grew up with those films, that's just kind of like a nice, like kind of like, oh, I see what you did there.
My problem is as I'm watching that, I have to learn to enjoy it for myself and not get into my head like, oh yeah, but younger audiences aren't going to get this. But that's my problem. I have to see a therapist, I think, about that.
Old man yells at cloud.
Yeah, but my clouds have silver linings, and that's what I will tell you right now.
Yeah, but they make those movies for so cheap. There's really literally no risk for the studios, you know, as long as, you know, they're decent.
Yeah.
You know, Liam Neeson wanted to do comedy. Pamela Anderson probably.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, yeah. Perfect example.
Did that come out before or after?
That's 2007?
And
That's almost 20 years old.
yeah, let's not talk about that. Dodgeball just turned 20 not too long ago. That was a good one. I saw the tweet about it. Yeah,
So
that's
even
probably
before COVID. Yeah, when did the Me Too stuff? When did the comedy breaks really get applied?
probably 2015-ish, in and around there.
Like
I
the
would say.
Weinstein stuff?
Yeah, well, that you know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. 2015 through 17ish, it started to kind of, people would get offended just to be offended.
Yep.
I don't know that there was anything that specifically happened that shut down comedy. I just think that the collective thinking of the world was going a certain way, so studios were like, let's just avoid that and not get wrapped up in this stuff.
I'm glad it's coming back.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to push. You're supposed to feel a little uncomfortable. It's supposed to push the limit, right? Just like Tropic
And if
Thunder.
you don't like it, don't go and see it.
Exactly. You know.
Well, studios are seeing the numbers come in and going like, God, we just released this new comedy film to streaming, but National Lampoon's Vacation from 1981 is getting more views than that. People want to be entertained and want to laugh, and because comedy's supposed to be edgy. Otherwise, it's just dialogue. You know.